Greetings, fellow Meteor. As our lovely operators announce the mining rig defense urgent quest, a collective sigh echoes across Halpha. Players lament time and sanity lost to failed runs. But it doesn't have to be that way. In this video, I will give you the knowledge you need to succeed in mining rig defense. These sections, for the most part, increase in complexity. So, if you find something is below your reading level, move on to the next section. Let's begin. Mining Rig Defense, or MRD for short, is one of the 3 urgent quests that occur every 2 to 4 hours. As the name implies, it's about defense. Players are tasked with protecting the 3 towers at the bottom of the map from waves of enemies. To this end, we have additional abilities unlocked by collecting points. More on that later. A UI element is added to show tower durability, points, and wave duration. In addition, the map is altered to show all enemies, players, and other threats. Please keep an eye on both of these at all times. In terms of rewards, the enemies defeated affect loot and rank affects Meseta. Rank does not affect loot quality. By collecting points, we unlock powerful abilities to protect the towers. By interacting with the towers themselves, you have 2 options. The first is to repair damage, which is exactly what it sounds like. 8 players with 3 to 4 heals each can easily push you up a rank in a pinch. The second is to deploy Barrier Shield. Barriers make towers immune to all damage. Furthermore, they deal massive damage to enemies in contact with the barrier. Be sure to pop a shield whenever you see a tower being overwhelmed. By interacting with a yellow triangle thing, players can use special equipment, the mobile cannon. Your kit is altered for 90 seconds as follows. Your basic attack is a powerful machine gun volley. Your PA is now to hold and charge a large explosive projectile with 5 uses. You can no longer sprint, but you can hold your weapon action to consume PP and fly at high speeds. You get 2 uses of the mobile cannon per fight if you get enough points. Save them for wave 6 and onwards. In addition to enemies, players must deal with the following mechanics. A Meldrum is a laser tower that spawns in the field. After a long period of charging, it will fire a dangerous laser directed at a tower. A backhack is a structure that spawns directly on one of the towers, dealing damage continuously if left alone. A Barrigale is a type of wall that impedes player movement. Each wall has 3 nodes that need to be destroyed to regain access. There are 2 varieties, 3 vertical ones and a single horizontal one. All 3 of these are clearly marked on the map. Meldrums and backhacks threaten massive damage if not dealt with quickly, so they are absolute priorities. Barrigales are situational. Don't bother with the triple vertical Barrigales at all. You can literally walk around them. And enemies will walk around you while you waste time breaking them. Just get points, or help out somewhere else. The horizontal one is often worth breaking, however. There are also special enemies unique to Mining Rig Defense. The first are bombs. They are normal Pedus clones until time runs out. If left alive, they will beeline for a tower and self-destruct. Prevent this with a well-timed barrier, or killing them. The second is Distragris, a Doll's boss with 2 flavors, legs and no legs. The legless version first appears in round 5 and is a normal boss fight. Leggy Distragris appears at the start of wave 6 and the middle of wave 8. It will always spawn in the back center of a lane with a cutscene. After breaking its 4 legs, it will detach and become a no-legs version to be finished off. If left alive, Distragris will go to a tower and straight up destroy it. You can prevent this with a barrier, but ideally you kill it for its rewards. If Distragris is allowed to approach the towers, it can summon missiles or try to perform its tower one-shot prematurely. Both of these can be prevented entirely if someone aggroes the Ragras at the top of the map. More on that later. Reading the map is the most important factor in a successful MRD. Unless you're on a difficult boss, most of your attention should be on the map rather than the enemies. In a moment, I will go over some examples on how to identify weaknesses in your defense and decide your best course of action using the map. During this exercise, please keep the following in mind. Spread out. By grouping up, you are leaving something else defenseless. If a person doesn't need help, don't help them. While this may seem counterintuitive and even cold, MRD is a game of multitasking. Instead of providing unneeded assistance, look at the map to see what really needs doing. Your average random can deal with a tower or a couple of mobs on their own. Or, if no one needs help, just get points. Watch out for Meldrums, backhacks, and new enemy spawns at all times. And finally, remember that an enemy aggro to you is harmless to the towers. Focus on turning their attention to you, and then lay into them all at once. I'll leave these on screen so you don't forget. Here is a clip from Wave 2. Looking at the map, what do you think I should do? A. Go after the enemies on screen. B. Get points. C. Cover somewhere else. Or D. Nothing. In my opinion, the answer is B. There are 2 players in position to take out these weak mobs on screen. My presence simply isn't needed here. In addition, all other mobs and lanes seem to be covered, so I will just get points and prepare for later waves. Alright, another. Wave 3 has just begun. What do you think I should do? What I chose to do, and believe to be the right answer, is actually nothing. Take a look at the map. We have at least 4 players in position to deal with whatever just spawned. By leaving my post, I'd have left the upper right portion of the map completely wide open. Since this is the start of a wave, we can fully expect more enemies to spawn. Let's play the clip. As you can see, I was right in position to catch the boss or pack of mobs. See what needs to be covered and don't blindly chase enemies. Skipping a fair bit ahead, here's the last scenario in the middle of Wave 8. Now looking at the map, what do you think I should do? You can see in this clip that I'm having a blast mowing down enemies until right here. The moment the enemy icons appeared, I dropped what I was doing and intercepted them. As you can see on the map, that lane was wide open. So I reiterate, look at the map and don't focus too much on the mobs. Collectasigne, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is used to unlock the barriers, heals, and mobile cannons. Here are the thresholds again for each. Generally, if you see points and don't need to go out of your way to get them, do so. It adds up quickly. A good goal is around 10,000 points, slightly before or during Wave 8. If a party is capable of this much, an S or A is basically guaranteed, as the extra cannon trivializes the new waves. To achieve this lofty goal, we engage in point stalling. To stall, we simply leave one random enemy alive at the end of the wave and have all 8 players collect points. A minute or more of dedicated point gathering by the whole party is potentially thousands of points. Even if this enemy ends up on a tower, don't fret. No single mob can outdo heals from all players. Just be sure to kill it before the timer runs out. In my opinion, the best waves to do this are 4 through 6. You get double points during these waves, and they aren't super difficult. Make sure to communicate the strategy to your party beforehand. As waves increase in difficulty, bosses are added to the mix. Due to their higher HP and damage output, they pose a larger threat to the towers. Luckily, we can predict when they spawn and preemptively draw their aggro. Despite being high priority targets, there should not be more than 1 player on a boss until everything else is dead. A common and sad sight is randoms dogpiling a boss while a tower gets wrecked in the background. Kill all other enemies before providing assistance. Now let's talk about where bosses actually spawn. Waves 1 and 2 are just weak enemies, nothing to see here. Wave 3 leads with 2 bosses that spawn with the first 2 packs of mobs. Wave 4 only has 1 boss that accompanies the first enemy spawn. This round tends to end early, so be sure to grab some points. Wave 5 is the first Astragalus. A skilled player can solo it, but be sure to judge if the boss holder needs help. Shortly after, another boss will spawn. Wave 6 leads in with a leggy Astragalus. 1 person should be posted front and center to aggro it and prevent its annoying tower killing mechanics. Once all mobs are dead, I recommend 5 players on the boss and 3 dedicated point gatherers. Once the boss goes down, a few more mobs will appear. Wave 7 will only have 1 boss and enemies spawning in 2 lanes. Don't forget about the empty lane though, as a Didal Sword will ambush you at 2 minutes 30 seconds remaining. Then that lane will be bombarded by enemies. Have a boss killer and mob killer ready to go. It's a great wave to use one of your cannons. At the start of Wave 8, there will be a red, low HP Nexalio in the first enemy spawn. It is scripted to use the big explosion as soon as it's aggroed or reaches the tower. Have players ready to intercept or simply blow it up with a barrier shield. After the Nex and his posse go down, another leggy Distragrus will appear, followed by a relentless rain of mobs. It's now or never, so don't forget to use your heals and your cannons if you haven't already. As you can see, the majority of bosses spawn at the start of waves, and the ones that don't do so predictably. 1 to 2 players out in the field can comfortably catch all the bosses. I applaud you for getting this far. I covered a lot of information today, so I'll leave some important takeaways on screen. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and share it with someone that needs the help. Thank you for watching, and until next time.